All right, hello. We're going to be doing an any percent route in Elden Ring using the Bloody Helice as our main weapon. I'm recording this because I've had a few people ask if I had if there was a route for this. This is something I've made to use on it is consistent and strong enough to be used on a marathon run, which is what I'm going to be using it for later on this year when I do Soulless Trilogy, which will be Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and Sekiro back to back without taking a hit. A few things to mention right at the start. I'm going to be talking through a lot of it as I go along, but a few thank yous right at the start for a lot of what's coming to this route. Obviously, learned a lot from a lot of different runners on routing, boss fights, that type of thing. But specifically, I wanted to shout out Monchuro, who was the first person I saw use this weapon in an any percent run. So some of the strats and some of the ideas came from him. Second would be Mumpler. Mumpler was the one who I first saw do the Sanguine Noble script that we're going to be using to get the weapon. And then third, I'd like to thank Opie. Opie as a lot of the running sections, a lot of the strats in this come from him as well, from his different runs that I've seen. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna be posting this on YouTube. I have a bunch of notes I'm going to include in the comment section of in the section in the YouTube video, so you'll be able to follow along as I kind of go here. So the class we start off with is Samurai. And our keepsake, we use the Lands Between rune because we need money at the start. So as we're kind of getting going here, I'll just kind of go over what I like about this weapon. Mostly, I like that it is a very good overall weapon. It has fairly high AR. It is very fast. It does a lot of bleed damage. It has good range, and it does good poise damage. It's not the best in all those categories, but it is very good in all of them, and makes for a very good overall weapon for this type of run. And if you're doing a longer run, I've used this weapon on all great runes, and I did that Bloody Helice only. It just gets stronger and stronger as you go along. This one is kind of testing the boundaries. The any percent is testing the boundaries with the buffs that we want to get, and things like that. So we're making this as efficient as possible for an any percent. So it should be around the run itself should take, if you kind of follow this route to the T, it should be around like an hour 35, hour 40 to get to the end. So our first stop along the way is we're gonna stop at Kale, and we're going to get a few things from him. Nice. Bow cancel there. I do want to grab this rune that's just sitting here next to the church. We do need our whole goal for the beginning of this, as far as runes, is to get to 15,000 by the time we get to EG, so that we can buy all 4 stones right when we get there. So go ahead and sell that. Purchase the 3 cracked pots and the crafting kit. And now we're going to make our way to Gatefront. We're going to grab the kukris along the way, because we need the kukris right away to get the flail. Now this is going to be kind of the most stripped down version of this run that we could do, as far as like running sections and picking up stuff. Obviously, there are other stuff that you can pick up and you can get and do that make it a little bit better. Yes, exactly, gents. Hey, Kool-Aid. So feel free to, you know, change this up as you feel comfortable. I'm gonna do like a couple of skips and stuff like that I know some people aren't as comfortable with, but I'm gonna show you how to do them either way. So we're at Gatefront now. We are getting warrant. And then we're gonna get the Flail. We're gonna use the Flail to kill boggart here. So from right over here, you have the bow equipped in your kukris. There's 2 enemies over here. What you can do is just aim a kukri about the midpoint between the 2, and they'll both go investigate. And then you can just run up and grab this and port back. This run could sure do with an hour 30 of setup. The whole run is gonna be about that fast, hopefully. All right, so now we have the flail. We'll be using that later on here. Switch that back to that hand. So grab the golden seed here. We're going to grab the Stormhill side of grace because we're going to be coming back here quite a few times. Nice. And then from here, we're going to go to Warmaster and get that grace for later. So we kill Bernahl to get Assassin's Gambit. Assassin's Gambit is heavily featured on this run for the running sections. So we will come back and kill Bernahl later. So now we're going to make our way. We're going to get one of our 2 main buffs for this run, which is Golden Vow. Hey, Sobo. So this knight up here drops the Golden Vow Ash of War. What you can do to make it a little bit safe is you can just jump off there and then crouch and run up. 2 unsheaths usually are enough to get him off the horse, and then you can just riposte him on the ground. And we got the armor too this time. So now we have that. Go down here. This is a safe drop spot. We are not going to be helping out or killing Alexander on this run. It is another option since we do use the Ash of War quite a bit on this run, but not enough to make it worthwhile to grab Alexander. So grab the Saints Bridge side of grace, which we're coming back here later. Hey, Shig. We don't need anything from this guy. I changed it up a little bit. Instead of grabbing the extra, or really you should only need about 4 cracked pots in this run at any one time. And that's if something goes wrong, basically. But we're going to grab a 5th one. We're just going to grab 2 in Stormhill later. So run down here, grab those Trina lilies and the mushroom. We're going to drop down here because we're going to get the cookbook. So there's a couple of runes here that we want to make sure we grab. So that's a 6. That's a 4. Want to grab that? We can just grab them all. Why not? There's only a few spots in this run where we want to hit specific levels and such. All right, so we got that. Now we're going to drop down here. Run where Alex is spared. Yeah, exactly. We're going to go down to Third Church, grab the physic, and grab the grace because we're going to be coming back here in just a moment. I go in this order right at the beginning so that it is still nighttime when we do the run through Fort Haight, which helps. Because we're not going to be killing anything, we're just going to be running through. And nighttime makes it a little bit more forgiving. Okay, so we got our physic now. We're gonna grab the, what's it called? It's not stone barb. It's the charge tier talisman, or sorry, charge physic tier, to give a buff to our charged R2s. So just a little bit of like an overview of like the Helice in general. The most damage you're gonna do is with the R1s, like DPS. Is from the R1s. That we buff as much for the charge R2s, but that is specifically for setting up poise. If we wanted to do the most damage possible, we would just do R1s because it's faster and does more damage overall. Hey, look, a gold-eyed rune bear. So grab those Trina's lilies. The key to not waking up the rune bear is never going directly behind him, and he won't wake up. So again, we're gonna get something to buff our charge attacks. We get the axe talisman here. What if we kill Millicent? We do not kill Millicent on this run. Alright, so we got our two things that buff our charge attacks. And now we are going through Fort Haight. Oh, sorry, yeah, Fort Haight. Going this way and going at night allows you to just run through, as I said, while avoiding, so we can get the first half of the dectus medallion. We can grab this golden seed right here, jump up, dismount, and then we just run right through. Good. Give this one a little bit of a wide berth because he throws and it explodes. Jump that one, and then jump into this guy as you go past. I didn't really manage my stamina rate there, but it's all good. Yeah, we'll grab the Dectus medallion and then head back to Third Church. All right. So now we're going to make our way over to Kale, going Rotview first. First try on that jump, yeah, there you go. A lot of this just becomes, with practice, it becomes a lot easier on the running sections. So just make sure to practice those along with any boss fights. So we're going to grab Rotview because we'll be taking that way later on to go to Radahn and grab our second major buff, which is Flame Grant Me Strength. But first, we're going to make our way over to the Isolated Merchant and buy the Bst Trch, which is a pretty big help on this run. We're going to grab the Grace. This is the path that I've always taken to get there from Rotview. I've not had any problems with it. Just following along this ledge. Yeah, Ivy, how are you doing today? You can pop some runes while you're running here. Again, we need 15... We need 15k by the time we get to EG. And we need 1800 up here to buy the Bst Trch. Does that work? I'm doing pretty well. No complaints here. So anyway, I grabbed this grace because we're going to port back here after we get the Bst Trch. So there's 3 dogs that you got to worry about. I just kind of always keep an eye. So you see this one's pretty close up here. That one's pretty far down there. So there's 2 on your right and 1 on your left. They will follow you up here and attack you if you're not careful. So I like to just keep an eye on them. So from this guy, we're going to buy the Beast Repellent Torch. And then head back to Dragon Barrow West. So now we're going to get the Somber 8 and the Somber 9 and the Rune Arc that are here. Just so that we're already kind of in this area. So this beetle explodes if you kill it, so it's a little bit safer to just knock it off the ledge. We got to go down this ledge anyway. Nice. Nope, this way, please. There we go. Now we make our way down this branch. And among these items here, one is the Somber 9. The other one is the Rune Arc. We do pass by another Rune Arc later on if you need it. Alright, so we got our Bst Trch equipped. If you want, you can put the your clothes back on for running through Fort Haight. No, sorry, Fort Faroth, because there's a bat that spews poison. So just to alleviate any sort of issue with poison buildup, you can just throw that back on. Hey Tombstone, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. So in Fort Faroth, we're going to get the second half of the Dectus medallion and then Radahnn's soreseal, which is going to be one of our talismans. Poison buildup is only a hit if it procs, correct. So you like to come up here, just hit this wall like twice, and then take out your torch. I kind of crouch through here. Some people just sprint through. Do whatever's more comfortable for you. I tend to stay crouched until I get here and then jump up. And you see, poison did spew poison, but it didn't even come our way. So we are good. Okay. And dectus, and now we're going to make our way down here. Keep the Bst Trch out for the rats over here. Because we're going to grab this rune here. Because it is a big help. And then drop down. Yes, it was added by somebody. All right, so now we got to wait for them to de-aggro. So just come over here and crouch. Now we're going to make our way back to Stormhill Shack and head to Liurnia. Go ahead and take off the clothes now. Throw on a soreseal. Yeah, Breath Stream did you some good. Yeah, me too. I went back and watched the rest of the VOD. Go ahead and pop this rune while we're just running here. So we need another 1,000. Oh, we're grabbing this up here. So I do a little skip up here. Actually, that I saw Nuclear Pass to Tom do first on his speed runs, but it puts us in a good spot. So you will want to have the bow ready, because we are going to shoot one of the balloons to get our remaining runes that we need. So the skip is right up here, right past these dogs. You kind of just go to where this edge is, double jump, land there, jump again, land there, jump down, and then just keep going. Go ahead and heal up. And then we are going to go to about this tree right here, aim, shoot the balloon. Yeah, you can always go around as well, Shig. I'm just kind of showing my way of doing it. I like getting that balloon because it gets us the remainder of our runes that we need. You come in here, use Torrent to destroy the wood there. We're gonna grab the Faith Talisman so that we can cast Flame Grant Me Strength before Godric's Great Rune. That gives us 5, so we only have to level 2 levels of Faith. Just scary at first, yeah. Alright, so then we're gonna make our way, we're gonna take this waypoint to the south Lucaria gate. We're gonna grab the grace because we're coming back here. And now we're gonna make our way to the Raya quest line. So you come over to this ledge, jump on to that, sure, why not? And down. Go through here. You can grab this golden seed too. And then to get myself lined up, I jump through there and then out this way. And then I kind of just head generally south. What I'm kind of looking for here is there's going to be 3 Albinarics, or a couple of Albinarics that are walking. You can see them up on the right now. Just stay a little bit to the left of them, and you'll see the shack is coming up right up here. There are 3 Trina's Lilies right here. Might as well grab them. I forgot on the way. Equip the flail. Break this. Do R1 and then just keep walking into them while holding L2. So that serves 2 purposes. One, it gets us the necklace, and it also gives us another 1,000 runes. So now when we pop this, we have our 15k that we need. We're getting our other physic tier here, which is the dex tier. There's no arcane one. We are just going to grab some dex for a little bit of extra damage. And now we're going to make our way over to Raya. Is it nighttime? Can't tell. Let's see. Keep an eye on that octopus is much further left. And you see it is still nighttime, so the Deathbird will spawn, but there's nothing he'll do. We are not getting Red Feather on this run. So now we have to talk to her twice.
It's rather my mistress. Could I ask?
But it saves us a trip back and forth.
Oh, to bless a thug, please. Please. Oh, thank you. Did I forget? I seek you are very to study such. Please. Brave time.
All right, so we got the volcano invite. Now we go back. with the grace we already have. Now we're going to make our way to EG. I do the jump down here. I know some other people have had problems with it, but I've not yet had a problem with it. So it's just land right on this and should be good. And we're going to make our way over to the waypoint. Yeah, it costs 15k runes to buy all 4 stones at once. We're going to buy all 4, get the grace, because we'll come back here as a kind of a time save thing. It's faster to, when you are leveling up, when you're just leveling up your weapon, to go back to EG rather than go to round table, but it is the option of just going to round table. Oh, didn't do it. So I make Road to the Manor one of my preferred graces, so it's easier to find later on. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's all we need. So just hugging a little bit right on the cliff line. Shouldn't have any problem with the blue Loretta arrows coming down. We're going to grab a few of Trina's lilies and then make our way to dectus. We're a little bit slower here, but it'll probably be about 25 minutes to dectus, which isn't terrible. I do grab some of the Trina's lilies. We probably don't need as many as we grab on this run, but just so you don't have to come back here. Yeah, torrenting around. And then we're gonna make our way over to the Sanguine Noble to get our weapon. I usually keep the Bst Trch out while I'm torrenting around. Because it just makes me feel safe. Alternatively, that right there on your left is a rune arc that you could grab instead of the other one. Didn't want to. I like to grab a few extra these mushrooms. Sometimes it's more than one. I just run through here, so we don't have to jump up the side there. Take that off. And there we go. Should be at dectus for like right at 25 minutes. We're going to grab this first grace because we're going to come back here after Sanguine Noble, but we're also going to grab... should we? We don't really need to grab the other one. We can just go this way. Yeah, we'll just grab this grace. We do have to come back for Gilika later, but I don't think it's not that big of a deal to grab the grace right by her, because you still have to parkour up the wall. So the Sanguine Noble script, as I said, the first person I saw do it was Munfler. The idea is that you backstab him as he's spawning in, and then you do 2 unsheaths. I guess we come over here anyway, don't we? I guess we can just grab it. So the idea for Sanguine Noble, you backstab him as he's spawning in, and then you unsheath, and then he's going to do the same attack every time. which is he'll do the weapon art. I don't think I even grabbed the grace, did I? Oh well. He'll do the weapon art, and you strafe behind him, do another unsheath, and then an R1. And that will stagger him. You let your stamina come back. You don't need to have it come back all the way to full, but getting it close to full is nice. And then you're going to unsheath. He's going to do that same attack again. Strafe it, unsheath, R1, and riposte again. And I'm going to show what it looks like with the... There is blood grease right up here. Oops, I should have jumped further. So you can come through here this way. Grab the blood grease. And the blood grease just makes it so it's a little bit faster. Now what I'm looking for the opening attack is I wait till I see the bottom of his robes come up from the ground. Because he's going to spawn in kind of like a weird way. So put on the blood grease. Let's give this a go. I like going to his side a little bit here. And then you just sprint past. Unsheath again. R1. Now let it... Stamina come back. Riposte. And then repeat. And because of the bleed grease, we don't need to do anything more. So now we can pick up our weapon. And we go back to Altus Plateau. Yeah. I do, and I'll link it in the... I did a full recording of just that script, and I'll put that in the description as well. All right, so we can take our bleed grease off. We can put the bloody Helice on, and take off the Uchi. So now we're gonna go and yeet DTS off the cliff. Even though we can't wield the weapon, we still get the poise damage from it. We just don't get the real damage from it, but we don't need the real damage. Some more mushrooms there. Witty has a nice way of like not aggroing these two tree sentinels up here. I've never been successful at doing it, so I just cut in here and run straight up through. It doesn't really matter. They won't be following us for long. So we'll grab the 2 golden seeds here. And then we just make our way directly up here. There is a gargoyle that's going to spawn in, but there's nothing he can do. He is too slow. You see, he's not even aggroed. Alright, so we're going to grab these other 2 golden seeds. I do grab the grace up here in case something goes wrong with DTS and we got to reset the area. It's not as far of a run. And plus there's some more mushrooms and a rune that we can grab along the way. So the DTS strategy that I use is one that was inspired by, I should have given them a shout out as well, but Mouse, now I can't remember Mouse's full name. But he came up with this way of killing of knocking DTS off in this way. Mouse and a 2-2. Thanks, Gran. Yeah, so Mouse and a 2-2 came up with this. I adapted it a little bit. Mouse's strategy was to get DTS to jump and then start hitting. I found that if you wait till he starts his animation, then he won't jump, and you can still have plenty of time with... I've not found a weapon yet that it doesn't work on. I've tried it with quite a few to knock DTS off. So it's a bit of a precise pathing that you take to get him over into the right position. I have found that it's good that it's daytime. We want it to be daytime because we want DTS to see us. And we sometimes, if it's raining, it does have an effect on this as well. Yeah, thanks, Grin. Hey, Zero, how's it going? I have not done BL4 yet. Getting there. So, I hop off to go to this blade of grass right here, and you wait till he starts moving. And then you just walk. Walk this line. No sprinting. And you go up to the top here. He's... Of course, it's not going to do it properly this time, is it? So he lost us at one point. So we're just going to do it again. That was a bit odd. He usually will come right around. Let's just do it again. I might have needed to go a little bit further left so that he kept track of me. He might have lost me in the going by the bushes. So we'll try it again. The game knows it doesn't cooperate. Yeah. But it's better to be safe there and just reset the area than try to fix it, because I've tried to do it, like just wait for him to fully reset and do it again. But I've lost runs doing it that way as well, because he might aggro in a weird way. Yeah, as Gran said right there, he can act kind of weird. It's better to just restart, and that's why we grabbed that grace. So one of the major advantages of this weapon when it comes to poise damage is the full weapon art does 66 poise if you land every hit, which for bosses that only have 80 poise is a huge advantage. And we're going to be using it on DTS here. Okay, so let's try again. We're back to that spot. Sees us. We're gonna wait to see his head turn, and then we're gonna crouch and go over here. Now we're gonna sneak behind him, and we're gonna wait, crouch down. We're gonna do charge R2 and then a full weapon art. And it works perfect. So, now 2 bosses down. And now we have the runes that we need to level up ourselves, level up our weapon. So now we're going to finally go to a round table. So there will be some hand holding As a warning.
To determine if you had. It seems torrent, whereas I'm in. There is, but I can take gathering.
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
My hand.
Jig. So we'll be +6 up to Fire Giant, then we'll be +9, and then we'll be +10 for Ashen Capital. Okay, so at Round Table Hold, we will be buying the dagger, the rapier, and... Oh, I don't need to do that. The dagger, the rapier, and this finger seal. We're going to sell our runes. We're going to level up the weapon. We're going to level up ourselves. Break the table, yes. So now we have a +4 Helice. I guess we could do this. It doesn't really matter right now. So let's sell whatever we have. Let's have a few. It shouldn't matter. Bernahl is a little weird, but it should be okay. So we're going to go 10 faith, 19 dex, and 20 arcane. We want to leave 15k runes for buying gambit and buying the shackle, and buying no skill. Hey Sykes, thanks for good luck, dude. Hey Archer. We're gonna add charges to our flask. I like to leave 3 of those. We don't have any of that. Let's put in, then we need our dexterity and our charge attack power. And now we're going to go and kill Bernahl. So we're going to go back to Warmaster. Okay, so this is a bit of a weird one, I admit. We can put on our seal now. So Bernahl has a limit to the amount of damage you can do to him before he'll aggro. So you get 1 free hit, and you want it to be basically as close to 400 damage as you can. So found that with Physic, I do a tap R2, and I know it only does 267, but I can't really do anything more than that. Then we do backstab, and then walk up weapon art. And it works. I've not had too much of a problem with it. So now we have what we need to get Gambit. So now we're going to go back to Altus Plateau. And we're going to go to Volcano Manor. I know why I didn't want to put... One second. I know now why we didn't want to put... we didn't want to put Golden Vow on yet. Yeah, the DMGS one was a nightmare. So, shouldn't have done this. I'm just going to undo that, because we do want quick step at the moment. I should have followed my notes. Golden Vow on the axe, yeah. Okay, so now time for some more hand-holding chat. I trust that you can get through it. It is worth noting that this is kind of the standard somber route that I use now for any somber weapon. Is kind of in this vein. How we do things. So let's grab the Grace. Put on the dagger and the Bst Trch. So we have to join Volcano Manor so that we can now buy Assassin's Gambit. And then we do go through Volcano Manor. It's a fairly quick Somber 5 and Somber 6. And then we don't need any more, we don't need to get the 6 like in Leyndell or the 5 outside of Radahn. Then we only need to get a 7, which we will get after Morgott. So grab this grace in case we got to port back. I reset the area there just so that it's actually quicker than the full animation of the door opening. We're not fighting. We don't need. We have a plenty of damage to avoid having to fight Noble and getting the 7. So yeah, this is why I wanted quick step, just to get through here a little bit easier. I grabbed that stone sword key there. That was just out of habit. We do not need any stone sword keys here. But here's the 6. Yeah, it's kind of overkill. I only really do manor anymore fully if I'm doing like all great runes, whether I need to do Rykard or not. So this guy, who Aggie named Kale, seems to always be in a weird position. He's always in a different position. So sometimes you'll get up here, I'll already be there. So just keep an eye out for it as you go up. Unless you're using bars, okay, yes, then you need it. We go up here, and Somber 5 is here, and then we will go to EG, level up, and then we'll go kill patches. A lot of times I don't bother killing patches for the shackle, but for a marathon run, it's... Oops, no, didn't want that. For a marathon run, shackle makes 2 bosses on this route free, and it's hard to not invest that time. So we're going to go back to Gatefront. Oh, you know what? We needed to... Sorry. Actually didn't need to get that yet, but it's okay. Normally, I did that a little bit out of order. We didn't need to go level up our weapon yet for patches. But what's done is done. So what are we at? 42 minutes. The idea on the timing is we should be through Stormhill at around an hour, and then Leyndell at about an hour 20. Fire Giant probably maybe it's more like Fire Giant at about an hour 30, and then about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes left. So to get down here, you want to run back and despawn Nerigis, unless you want to fight him. It does not look very fun. I used to do it on my Rotview route. I always can't remember whether or not these guys up here have some sort of throwable. I think they do, so I always just crouch and kind of hug this wall as I go around, because you don't want any trouble at the end of setup. All right, and we're going to be baiting out one attack and running around and backstabbing on patches. I think it might take 2 of them with a +4, which is what normally we would be here. So this is it? Yeah, it's going to take 2 with +6 as well. So, yep, there we go. And he'll tell you to wait, wait, please. But we don't like patches, so. Okay, so now we have Bernahl's Bellbearing and Patch's Bellbearing. Now we go to a round table. There's a couple more things in setup that we need to do. We need to get, so now we're going to buy Gambit and the shackle. That's why we saved some runes. Because the shackle is 5k. And Gambit is 6,500. And then I like to also buy the no-skill Ash War. Hey Jode, how's it going? Now we go when we put on all of our Ashes of War. Normally we would level up Bloody Helice here as well. Sell those. So put Golden Vow on that. Okay. Now we are going to Rotview. No skill required ahead, yeah. I do like to just make it night. You really only need it to be either night or have Gambit. We're gonna have both. I'm not a huge fan of going this way, but it is the best way to go on this route. So we're gonna grab Flame Grant Me Strength first, and then we're gonna go into Fort Gale to take the teleporter to Radahn. Got a lot of resets in setup, and since setup in Elden Ring is very long, I like to minimize those types of resets if I can. Because there's the archer up there, and if he sees you, then he does the Radahn's rain of arrows, and they will chase you around for a very, very long way. So I go there and I Gambit, and then let's make my way. Well, there's still time for that too, Grand. And I also do almost like all of the setup and get a lot of map presence at the beginning of the run, so that the rest of the run only, like from the end of setup, like setup should be pretty much longer than the rest of the run, because it's everything's pretty quick, boss after that. All right, so we got Flame Grant Me Strength, re-Gambit, run past this idiot. We're gonna make our way to the teleporter. Re-Gambit here, so that this guy doesn't see us. Some of the Gambit timing might be a little off. There's like 3 enemies up here. We're gonna make our way over and kind of hide over here until one of them passes by. We're gonna just wait for this guy to pass by our location, and then we're gonna go up to the teleporter. Excuse me. We're going to take teleporter, and then teleporter, grab the Grace of Radahn so that we can just port there right after we get the Great Rune. And then we just have to get 2 of our talismans here, and then we'll be ready for Margit. Obviously, this run's going to be a little bit slower now since we had to do DTS. We had to reset a DTS. But it still should be only just should be still maybe like around like an hour 40. Okay. So now we go back to altus. Now we're going to make our way to Gilika. I like using a sleep pot on her since we have extras for this run. Did not put on flame grant me strength. It should not matter. We'll just buff with golden bow. Right, like you take a couple steps into her arena, throw a sleep pot. It should land like right at her feet. She'll sleep and then kill her from there. Nope. She's fairly easy. I don't think I did that quite right, but we have quite a bit of damage now. All right, so we got one of our main talismans, and now we're going to go to Saint's Bridge and get our other probably best talisman. I have heard that a lot of people don't like this going through this cave. I've done it I do it on almost every run, so I've kind of got comfortable with it. So it's something probably just need to practice to make sure you're comfortable with like the jumps. Bit of a shout out to Grand here. Grand actually found it has a strat for one of these jumps that makes the I think the part that everybody's afraid of a lot more consistent. With his insane just run off strategy. I like to come here, gambit before I jump down here. Bst Trch, these guys should not attack us, but there is a dog up here that has an event trigger. So I kind of just run to like this spot and then run back and around. You can also jump it if you are into that type of thing. Like donut. I go back here. So here we're just going to run straight off as we land, block cancel, and then jump. And that ensures that you don't get the baby jump off the pillar. Hey, Nuke. This is something I learned from, I think it was from Lank. But if you gambit before you go in here, and you kind of take this route, he won't wake up. I just go through both these doors. He doesn't wake up right away. And then it's pretty straightforward. Charge R2. Charge R2. Riposte and dead. I'm not sure, Nuke. Okay. Now we are going to make our way to Margit. So let's level up what we have, or what we can. We're just going arcane until we get to 75 arcane. Flame grant me strength on. Everything else is good. Oops. There's no name on the submission sheet. Oh, that's, yeah, I didn't. I know Archer was all about Resident Evil 7 as well. So for Margit, we are going to charge R2, tap R2, and riposte. Or actually, we can probably do it a different way. Actually, we're going to do charge R2 and then full weapon art riposte, and then should be dead from there. So in order to cast it, we cast Flame Granting Strength, we need to have the talisman on, and then we need to swap from there. So use our physic. Wow. And then so shackle, charged R2, full weapon art, riposte, and dead. Silent Hill 2 was pretty creepy. Yeah. Hey, Brooksley. Alright, so mark it done. So now for this section, we need gambit and the bow. Ghost Hunt is just off for this since we're making a guide here. So I'm recording this to post, so it'll be back on after this is done. So we're going to choose going through the main gate. Trigger the main gate. Make sure it's nighttime. Yeah, I'm making this guide here, and also it's for some others, but also for me because I'm going to be using this route in case I need to reference something. So we're going to go up here to grab the grace. Yeah, it's my favorite weapon by far, Nuke. No more boring longsword, yeah. It's just twisty longsword. Okay, so now we're going to do the run through Stormvale. I like to gambit here because one of the ballistas saw me early one time, so I've always done it there. Grab this. Finish Lily. Since we have gambit going, these guys don't see a thing. For this part, I go right to this tree here. I gambit. And then we're going to need to throw two kukris. So one above the ballista up there. And one at the wall here. We switch to get our weapon out. Wait for the ballista shot there. Then jump up here. Make sure you go wide left so these guys don't see you. Grab these kukris. Kill that guy. Re-gambit. And then we go. Godric is one that you're just going to probably make it consistent. It's something you're just going to have to learn to fight, in my opinion. There's not really a great way to script him with this weapon. Because he's just a little random, so you are going to have to spend some time kind of learning how to deal with some of his attacks. We do end up killing him, should be able to kill him at the beginning of phase 2, but phase 1 just gonna have to learn. So I do, as I said earlier, just to have an extra crackpot, we're gonna grab these two here. Leveling doesn't really matter here, but we can do it anyways. Yeah, it's only going to give us 2 levels, so. Take off. We want as lightweight as possible. And then to buff again, we got to put on the 2-finger heirloom. No, I didn't. I thought he was gonna get a bleed proc there. But not the cleanest, but it should be okay. So yeah, it's just gonna take some practice to get pretty good at Godric. He's a little wonky, and the arena is not great, but can be done. And now we're gonna go back to the bridge and go get Godric's Great Rune. Pretty neat. Yeah, you should. Nuke, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so, and you saw there, I used the initial part of the weapon art gives you iframes. So, and it gives you a lot of iframes. So it's a great way to dodge and punish attacks at the same time. I always go this way, and I always do it with gambit because it makes things a little bit. They don't wake up. The golems don't wake up quite as fast. The first one can get kind of close to you if you run up that way. And I just wait here for the shot. We check out how that tree stopped the arrow midair. I wonder if this is a good choice for a marathon run. That's what I'm going to use it for. This is only my second ever full attempt. The first time it was a one hit to bad stamina management at Margit, but we don't even do that same strat anymore. Go ahead and pop the remembrance. So as you can see, we're a couple minutes behind where I thought we'd be. I think that's almost entirely attributed to having to reset the area for DTS. So yeah, we should have been about just under an hour to Godric. But now things start going a little bit faster until we have to run through mountaintops. Okay, now we're gonna go to chamber outside the plaza, and we're gonna go fight Radahn. Make sure you sit and level and equip Godric's Great Rune. So again, we're just pumping arcane at this point. So I said earlier that our best DPS is doing R1s. And we're gonna show that off right now, because we are only going to do R1s for the entire Radahn fight. And it makes it so it's still a one cycle. Before we begin, so at the beginning you hop on torrent and then run backwards to despawn the arrow. And then we go up to, I kind of go up to the same area each time and buff, and then we wait for one opener. There's a little bit more that you need to know about Radahn. Just kind of how the fight works. There's one point where you need to roll in front of him when he's doing the gravity attack to get the full follow-up, because it gives us our most amount of time for punishes. So then we wait, kind of go a little bit forward, see what he does. So he's not the right one. We get away from that. And now this is the one we're looking for. And as I said, just R1. So as soon as I get the bleed proc there, I go behind. That's where you roll in front. Go back out. All R1s. Nothing complicated. Yep, plenty of damage at +6. Okay, so from here, we're going to go back to round table and get a talisman pouch. If you also wanted to do like a tap R2, the tap R2 on this weapon is extremely fast. Hey. But the first 4 combo of doing R1s is just so nice. Okay, talisman pouch. We're going to equip the soreseal. Go ahead and level up everything we can into arcane. Now we go to capital rampart. We're going to make our way through Lindell. You will want gambit and you will want the bow for the way that I go through, where you're going to use some kukris. Because we're going to grab the avenue balcony side of Grace, so that we can port back there to go to Fire Giant, rather than have to do the drop down again. We don't sit at any side of Grace until after Goldfree as well, so that we don't have to talk to Melina. I like to go up here, and this is a fairly big rune. Let's grab that. As long as you're gambited and you keep moving through, you shouldn't have any problem with those guys. I re-gambit here, because there are some enemies on the roof here. Jump over. And jump down here. So this avatar up here is a bit weird. So I like to grab that rune too. So we're going to use a kukri. We're going to gambit here. We're going to get a kukri ready. This is going to spawn in. We're going to throw it at the wall here. I kind of wait a little bit. Don't just go sprinting past, because his vision is very weird. Like if you turn on like the viewer on that, then you can kind of see that, but since I started doing that way, it's been pretty safe. Hey, Sucks. Hope you're doing well, man. Make sure you gambit before you go out here, because that guy down there has eagle vision. And just wait for that guy to pass. Grab one more golden rune here. And then make your way up here. Making our way to Goldfree. Goldfree is another one where really I just do R1s, because he has so much poise that we won't really get a poise break on him. very easily. So that guy has an automatic aggro. If you kind of do that route where I just kind of swing right a little bit, he'll always miss. And if you, since you're gambited, he won't. He doesn't actually see you. It's just a event thing. Okay, so go about right here, re-gambit. Goldfree takes some practice as well, but it's very useful practice because it's the same as phase 1 of the Horaloo fight. So the better you get at one, you get at the other. All right, so we'll take that off. Let's heal up. We get our buff. I like to keep an eye on that guy to make sure he doesn't aggro. He shouldn't, but so again, I just like doing R1s. Or maybe even like a tap R2. You can do jump R1s with this weapon, it is fast enough. He was being a real asshole there. Staying in that very annoying spot, but it's all good. And now we have all of our talisman slots. So for this enemy up here, we do not want a gambit. Because we want her to trigger. As I kind of get to the top of the stairs, I crouch and just walk right into her. She will look around, but not aggro. Okay, let's level up again. We're at 45 now. Nice. We can put on our last of those and equip the shackle. So we're going to shackle. We're going to do 4 R1s. Then we're going to do charged R2s, riposte, R1 to push him, and then R1s until he's dead. It might not have been night, yeah. So let's see if we can get this right. This is a little bit more technical at +6. A lot of times, if you're coming here at like +9, it's a lot easier. So we shackle 4 R1s, and now he's going to go into sword rain. We do charged R2, charged R2. Get some stamina back. For post. I like to go behind him. And as you see, we have built, because we've gotten those extra hits, we built up another bleed proc a lot quicker. So there's Hitless through capital. And now we don't need the shackle anymore. Now we're off to Fire Giant. It's more free than Iron Balls. Yeah, it's still even just +6. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I think it can be like just as, if not more, consistent, because you just don't get the whiffs that you get with the Iron Balls.
Prevented the thorns, a husk, the only way, and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide you.
Okay, now let's make our way to Fire Giant. And if somebody there could, Baryon was asking about a strat for the opener of Fire Giant. So after we do that, if somebody could take a clip of it, I would really appreciate it. But just once we get there. Iron Balls mentioned Gur. You see that guy spawns in and does a melee attack every time. It's kind of unusual. How good is Bloody Helice? It is very good, Alex. It is my favorite. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Yeah, we're just recording a little bit of a guide here for... Shig was asking if I had recorded anything about the route. And then I'm going to be using this for a trilogy run I'm going to be running here, hopefully in the near future. So just kind of recording that, getting everything locked down on strats and everything like that. And seeing if there's anything we can improve upon. You jacked up your back? Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, so while we're on here, we can pop some of these runes. So with these enemies right up here, they aren't fast enough with gambit to like notice you and hit you. So you just go to the top here. And then I kind of just run more close to the guy on the right. Because the other guy will try to take a swing at you, but not had any problems with it. And then just run past this. Three games run. It'll be Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. So the Soulless trilogy, as we're calling it. Oh yeah, Shake. I've been meaning to do this for a while, so I'm glad I'm glad to do it. Yeah, Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring. So now we're on here. We're gonna pop the other runes that we have. And then I like to check. So it is nighttime still. So the Knight's Cab will be active up here. So we gotta kind of hug the right side. So I hop on Torrent until I get to right about here. Then I gambit. Not till you get FO3. Okay. So yeah, the Knight's Cab is going to be coming up here, so you can kind of see him now. Stay gambited, stay to the right. It shouldn't be a problem. Deco shouldn't be a god run. I think that's pretty fair. That's all right. It's a fun run. Okay, so I hop up there like that to avoid another guy. And then we're going to grab the Somber 7 here. It stops forever, yeah. Okay, so for this, I always run up the right side, but I kind of keep close to the middle. Because what you want is you want Blackblade Kindred to do one melee attack. He didn't there. We're gonna have to look because he didn't do it. Let's see. So that shouldn't have happened. Don't tell Lank. Hey, Meowster. So I was listening there to see when he was going to... If he doesn't attack, then you should have plenty of time where you can just run straight up. But that time he didn't do an attack for whatever reason. So, wanted to be careful on it. Is it mostly speech checks? Yeah. So I specifically don't gambit through this section because I want the archer to aggro as soon as possible. So what I do is I do this, go this way, and I go right behind this guy, and I do an R1 and he hears it, and he turns around, but he doesn't see us. He turns the other way. And the Golem archer up here will aggro a little early so that the arrow will hit before we would need to stop. Like so. Then you just full speed ahead. I do go a little bit left here because I want his next shot to go into one of the rocks. He can... I've seen people get hit like right up here before. But I've not had a problem with it since doing it that way. Where are we at? 119. Yeah, maybe this is going to be, since we're kind of explaining a little bit of things as we're going, this is probably going to be closer to maybe like an hour 45. I'm trying to talk through a little bit of boss strategy as we're going as well. Okay, so I go the invisible bridge route if I don't need to get anything else in snowfields or mountaintops rather. So what we do is we want to utilize gambit quite a bit here because there's a lot of enemies up this way and they do have a ranged attacks. So gambit once there, then I gambit again here, make sure it's not run out, and now we make our way across the bridge. And you see that little ledge up there? I'm going to jump to that to get a second jump. Because otherwise it's a little tight jumping all the way down. I do like gambiting again here too because of all of the enemies that drop so they don't see us. There's a lily here if you want it. In fact, how many lilies do we end up having? I don't have enough crackpots, of course. I kind of like being safer and gambiting right here too. There's just a lot of enemies in here and you're getting fairly far in the run. Rather not risk it. You need some extra runes. There's a 8 right there. So we're going to go get the Grace outside of Fire Giant, and then we're going to go level up our weapon, level up ourselves, and then we will fight Fire Giant. Fire Giant's pretty straightforward with this weapon. Bleed is very good on him. Interesting song. Which part, Nuke? want to just make sure that hand turns. This part. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Meowster. Finally getting around to it. Okay, so let's go to EG. Get Bloody Helice +9. Is it safe to go in either hand? You can literally, like, kiss the hand as you're going by. If you wanted to. Okay, let's level up. So 54 arcane. We just want to be at 63. 63 for duo is very important. I specifically wrote it down because the one cycle is very... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so the way I do this opener is what I saw from Opie. What we're going to do is we're going to go to this spot that triggers Fire Giant. And he's going to start walking towards us. We're going to buff while it's going. After that, we're going to hop on Torrent, and we're going to get to another shadow, another spot in the map. And we're going to wait for him to do the avalanche attack. Oops. Right here. I messed this up completely. Now we're going to get back on Torrent. And he's always going to do that opener there. I might have to re-record that. Then we do charge R2 to break it. Charged R2. Charged R2. Jump R2. 2 sleep pots. Charge R2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't believe you didn't. There we go. So this has gone a little bit weird. Alright, I like to now Kukri there. Get sleep pots ready. 2 sleep pots. And then we're going to charge R2 the hand. Okay. Now we wait and see what he does. This is perfect. Let a few of them go off. We go to his side. Kukri death. That wasn't the smoothest fire giant, but it's something, again, that's kind of like the basic. Are you sure that's safe? It is safe to go to that side during the eruption attack. Yep. You do not want to go under him, and you do not want to go to the other side, but that side is safe. That's why I paused there for a second and hopped on Torrent and then ran up, because the tracking starts going up, like going towards you, and it won't go to the side. I've been doing that for a very long time and have not had a problem with it. Okay, Fair Missoula.
I have long observed the lands, this world, and death. Are you to commit? Very let my hand.
Fair Missoula will take a little bit of time to get used to how to run through it safely if you haven't before, but it gets to be very, very consistent. I've lost runs parkouring down that way before, so I just jump all the way down now. So Gambit, hit that little bit of rock, and that triggers that guy to go up and investigate. As I'm running through here, I hit this set of candles, and then this set of candles, and that guy, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to ever aggro. To have better blood buildup? I think it's close to 100. A hit. This dragon does not have a hitbox as he lands, so you can just run straight through it. It has good bleed build-up because of how fast it is, more so than like the actual bleed number. But it's still think it's really good. Gambit there. This is a way to go through here where you don't aggro anything, so it's probably the safest way. So kind of come down here, re-gambit, crouch down, and then kind of just hug the wall. None of these guys will aggro, so then you don't run the risk of getting a hard fall and getting hit with lightning. Then I always come down here, re-gambit. There's a guy on the other side of this pillar. I'll show you how to run by him, but you can just run to the right. I just kind of at right as soon as he starts to jump. Not really had a problem with it since. Okay. Get ready for duo. So duo is very specific. I actually spent like about 2 hours this morning trying to remember how I was able to get the one cycle. So ooh, we're actually off on, oh no, 62 arcane, so that's exactly what we need. So gambit. Actually, and I'll put the notes of how this works in the video. Actually, let me take a look at the notes real quick. So we're going to sleep both of them. Then we're going to do a charged R2, 2 R1s, charged R2 on Noble, riposte, and then 4 R1s. After that, we're going to rebuff, and we're going to do charged R2, full weapon art, riposte, and 2 R1s. And it should be almost the perfect amount of damage to one cycle. So to line this up well, what I always do is I gambit, I go and I trigger them, do 2 back steps, full up all the way, wait for the animation to reset, and then throw a second one. And since we have extra arcane, it does help. Okay. So then rebuff. So, charge R2, 2 R1s, charge R2. Four R1s. And now we're going to rebuff. Yes, arcane increases the effectiveness of sleep. So then it's charged R2, full weapon art. Perfect amount of damage for one cycle. This is really good. It took me a long time to get that down. Gambit, hit the wall so that, oh, see? It's almost happened again. So that guy did not hear it. So I always like to check to make sure. Like I've done this before, almost. I know a lot of people like to go and do the jump across the pillar. I do not agree with doing that. Especially on a run when you have both the Bst Trch and Gambit. I don't like risking that big jump there. As I say right before I'm about to go do bird skip. I will say bird skip is worth it. But if you don't particularly like it, then you can always do the bird section. I have not done the bird section on a run in such a long time. Yeah, Gino did do that. But Gino is Gino. I like to sit here and level up. Again, we're just trying to get to 75 arcane right now. I'm going to show you where and how to do bird skip. So I like to go to this third pillar right there. Do that. For whatever reason, I like doing bird skip with the dagger in hand rather than anything else. So I like to sleep this guy. So I kind of go to like the third from the last square here and kind of aim my head in kind of like the middle here and throw one sleep pot. That's kind of the lineup I use. All right, so for bird skip, go to this second pillar here. Just walk into it till you're kind of at a good angle and then jump. And then kind of just go straight. Yeah, that will take some practice. But Lank also has a good video on that. I might ask him if I can link that one in, put that in there so you can, if you want to learn bird skip, you can do it that way. Yeah, if it's consistent enough, yeah. I just never particularly liked doing the jump. Just in case something happens, you can grab the grace down here before Malekith. On most runs, I probably won't do it because we've already leveled up. And Malekith should not be too big of a problem on this run. So if you gambit up the right side, Mad King says that the guy will not aggro, so you don't have to crouch. Let's see if that's true. That felt a little sketchy. Okay, so we don't need any more sleep pots. We don't need any more kukris. He turns and walks away. Okay, there you go. Speak of the devil himself. All right, so we're gonna set up a stagger in phase 2. That's what all of phase 1 is geared towards. We're gonna use the weapon art to dodge the attack and punish, and then we're gonna do a charge R2 and then a full weapon art at the start of phase 1, or start of phase 2 rather, to get the stagger. Riposte, charge R2, and it should be end game after that.
Thou who approacheth destined death.
This will take some time to learn as well, how to punish all these attacks. There should be about 2 more. So he's staggered there. We do not want to take the riposte. We want his poise to reset. And we're gonna want it to reset again. So let's wait, let's wait. Alright, so now we're gonna backstep to avoid the attack. We're gonna go and we're gonna charge R2 with then full weapon art. Riposte. And then charge R2. We should get the bleed proc to finish him off. Like that. Not bad.
Destined death. To kill what?
Textbook indeed. I think I'm going to show the wing way. I've never done it, but I think it's probably a better way. Yeah, it'll take some practice for sure. Okay. So now we're going to get our plus 10. Our plus 10 just ensures that we get the... It makes everything the rest of the way a little bit smoother. And it guarantees we should be able to kill Elden Beast. I've actually never gone up this way, but I just watched other people do it. I've always gone a different way, but I think this is probably better. I don't think there's any enemies up here. But you can always gambit if you want to. So there's the gargoyle down there that we want to look out for. So this just avoids having to do the jump. That's not where I wanted. Hey, that is where I wanted. Why does it look different? Yeah, so the Somber 10 is right here. Just want to make sure that gargoyle doesn't see us. And then back to EG to level up our weapon for the last time. And then back to Ashen Capital, we're going to level up. We should be getting to our 75 arcane now. Nice roll. Ooh, we're one off. Shouldn't matter. Maybe we have a rune. No, we don't. Okay. It really shouldn't matter. So the Gideon strat is to do charge R2, and then full weapon art. And then it should be dead. And then we just have 2 bosses left. Because the 2 charged R2 should be enough to get him to do his debuff, where he wants to do his debuff attack. And that gives us some freedom. Yep, stand about here.
What a sad state of affairs.
Wait for a sad state of affairs. And then charge R2, charge R2, weapon art. Dead. So for
Not even you.
Godfrey and Horaloo, I fight him in a specific way to set up the stagger right at the beginning of phase 2, where I've practiced phase 1 enough to where I don't mind being in phase 1 for a little bit longer if it guarantees I don't need to fight him in phase 2. So all I do again is R1s in phase 1. Shouldn't need to do anything more. And then at the beginning of phase 2, we wait for him to do the grab, and then we do the full weapon art to get the stagger for post, and then we just R1 him until he's dead. So that's how it should go. We'll see if it works out. Alright, so we got our 75 arcane. Now we want some endurance. Our next threshold is we want 20 endurance for Elden Beast. I'm gonna snooze the ads because we're coming up to the end here anyway. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so here's how this goes. Alright, let's see how this goes, rather. I like doing rolling tap R2s there because it makes sure I don't get the rolling R1 like I got there. Shouldn't matter though. So wait for his hands to be coming around, and then do the weapon art. It'll miss. Charge R2, then we just kind of wait to make sure he does it, and we kill him. So in the Radahn fight, it's important that we rebuff as soon as Radahn is dead, so that we get enough damage on Elden Beast to script him. Thank you very much. So right there, I got to the 20 endurance that I like to get to, and then just the rest goes into dexterity for just a little extra damage. So. All right, we'll see if we can get this run hitless here. Hey, Yubel. Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. So again, I like just doing R1s because it's more damage. You can give 4. Not bad RNG. Jump R2 and weapon art dodge. Full weapon art. Riposte. On this charge R2, you want his foot to like start being on the ground already, otherwise he'll hyper armor it. I shouldn't have drank, but it's okay. Charge R2. Charge R2, go around the side. Charge R2. Charge R2, and then jump R1. And then 3 R1s. 3 R1s. Riposte. Wait till the hand comes down. Charge R2. And then charge R2. Full script. And that is a bloody Helice hitless run, any percent. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we're at 146. So it was with some explanations and with a
Tell a story.
with also kind of explaining things as we're going along. Ule, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. That's very nice of you. But yeah, and then so let's see what our time was. So 146. We take that. Not bad, huh? Yeah, cool. That's very nice of you. I appreciate it. But yeah, so if you have any questions about the run, please feel free to reach out to me. I don't mind answering it. I hope this has been helpful from both kind of seeing what this weapon can do, and then kind of also just hearing some of the strats for like running sections and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and if you, like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know.